Hello, and this is the first video of my second series, which is going to be basically a review of these things that I've picked up gaming-wise during the week. There's a gaming store, there's a couple near me, called The Exchange here in the Pittsburgh, Ohio area, and I think there's a few in Chicago too. You can pick them up there. They have a couple of stores. They have a lot of all the new games, all the retro games, NES, Super NES, Game Gear, Game Boy, Genesis, Sega CD, Saturn, a lot of Dreamcast games. Some of them are expensive, some of them are like $5–10, but pretty much anything you want there. They have movies, DVDs, just pretty much a lot of everything. You know, it's a lot of, like I said, a lot of the new stuff, a lot of the old stuff. Nice little mix of everything, and I go there a lot because the retro stuff tends to be like NES games, like boxes of them for like $1, $2. Most of them aren't more than 5, except for like the Gold Zelda game, which are like 10 or 15 or whatever. So, these are the things that I bought recently. First being Kung Fu for NES, cost $1. As you can tell, this is one of the original Nintendo games with the black box, as it was known as part of the Action series. It's actually a pretty good game. It's based on I believe, an arcade game. It's one of the original Nintendo games that came out when the series system was released in 85, 86, 87, that range there. Pretty good beat 'em up game. It's a little challenging at the end, but most good games are. And the other two that I bought were part of a series, Bases Loaded and Bases Loaded 2 second season, both for the NES, both $1 a piece. Probably two of the best baseball games that came out for this system. If you ever want to start an argument, if you find two, classic Nintendo fans and you want to see a real brawl break out, you can ask them what the best baseball game for the system is. Probably one of these two, and they will probably not agree and probably do a fist fight over it, which will probably be funny. Now, the prize, the gem of my trip this week, was none other than the NES Advantage, which, obviously, it's the joystick controller for the NES, released in about 1987 or so. And the thing about it is, look at this thing. It's solid, metal base. This was for the NES from 1987. This is like way better than most of the accessories that come out for game systems today that are like cheap pieces of plastic that look like if you break it if you press the buttons too hard. And this was like nearly 20 years ago. And this is like a real solid, hard piece of thing. You can knock somebody out with this thing. And you can look at it though. It's just the buttons alone. There's not only is there turbo buttons, you can see in here, it's also a slow button, which really was kind of cheap because it was just pausing and unpausing the game really fast, which kind of messed up if your game had like a pause menu or something and actually hit the pause button. So it didn't work for all games, but this was some pretty forward thinking back in the day, and picked it up for about $5 at the store. One thing I never knew, because I didn't have one of these when I was younger, was this thing actually has two connectors on the end of the cord for the two-player action, I guess. I don't really know what games would make use of this, but I think it was an odd thing I never knew about. All these years later, still learning new things about Nintendo and Nintendo accessories, so that's going to wrap up the video for now, and usually try to stop in the game store, during my days off on the weekend, so I should probably have something at least every week or so just to update everybody what I'm getting. Hopefully you find it interesting. I'd like to hear your thoughts and comments in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.